Hi, my name is Brenda, and I will be discussing Module 4, Video Post 1. I will begin by defining organizational controls and discussing why they are important. So, organizational controls are a basic managerial responsibility, and it's an important key in productivity. The purpose of controlling is to make sure that the plans are fulfilled, the performance is met, and that objectives are surpassed. Controlling makes sure that the right thing happens in the right way and in the right time. It ensures that performance contributions of individuals and groups are consistent with strategic and operational plans. It basically educates employees in the organization of the policies and procedures. Effective controls is an organization including these characteristics. They are strategic and result oriented. They are understandable. They encourage self control. They are timely and exception oriented. They are positive in nature. They are fair and objective. And they are flexible. The four steps in the management control process are establish objectives and standards, measure actual performance, compare results with objectives and standards, and taking corrective action. Establish objectives and standards. The objectives provide performance targets and standards to measure accomplishments. Output standards, which measure results in terms of performance quality, cost, or time. An example of this is when projects go over budget. Input standards, which measures efforts in terms of the amount of work consumed in a task or a project. An example is work attendance and punctuality. Measuring actual performance. This process measures actual performance. It has to be accurate to see if significant difference is between what is happening and what was planned. Comparing results with objectives and standards. This step allows management to establish whether or not there is room for corrective action. There is an equation for this step, which is need for action equals desired performance minus actual performance. This equation uses past performance as the standard for evaluating current performance. And lastly, taking corrective action. This process will take any action necessary to correct or improve future performance. This step allows for management to focus all of their attention on differences between actual and desired performance. And there are two exceptions a manager can encounter. One is the problem situation performance, which is below standards. The reasons for the deficiency must be understood, which allows for corrective action to restore performance to the desired level. And second, opportunity situation occurs when actual performance is above the standard. This action should also be understood, and it allows for action to continue at a higher level and accomplishments in the future. The two controls that I experience regularly in my professional life are to establish objectives and standards, as well as measuring actual performance. I am a business administrator for one of my clients, and I run compliance reports to make sure that the business is running up to par based on the new laws that have been passed. I need to establish objectives and standards to make sure that managers are setting goals as well as implementing them, and that the employees are accomplishing them as well as understand them. For example, when there is a new line of product that the company wants to push out, um, the objective is to sell the product to the clients, but that the product must also be displayed properly. In order for the product to be displayed properly, management needs to be compliant with all the lease agreements. This needs to be a proper way to display advertisements and advertising signs in their windows, as well as inside the building. So we also set standards on how to advertise the product. After doing this, I need to measure actual performance see how they did, and also see how the product is selling. And I need to measure the outcomes of and the objectives of the standards that we have placed. So this allows me to see if I need to take any further action, and whether or not they have deviated from the project or are compliant.